Hello everyone, I'm putting this up here just to show YouTube that I am operating within the guidelines of fair use, which allows to use segments of material I do not own the rights for in order to criticize and express an opinion. Just as any democratic, free speech supporting platform would do. I'm not going to make any money out of this, and everything I upload here will be for the sole purpose of reviewing, critique, and expressing opinions about what's going on and what went on. Okay, so this video is about the fear and anxiety that are being instilled in these children, Raphael and Abigail. But as Raphael is, in my opinion, quite hypersensitive and also more, let's say, advanced, intelligently advanced, he is more susceptible to these fear/scaring methods. And one of the things that I've noticed very recently, this is a video that has been uploaded just a few days ago. We're now in February 2023. It's from around his birthday, so this should be in November 2022. He still believes very firmly that the virus is full blown. And when he says the virus, he means, of course, COVID. And that he still needs to wear masks. And they all need to wear masks outside. Now, I know people in my close vicinity that are anti-vaxxers. I'm not going to go into that issue, of course, but these people do not force their children to wear masks. They do not keep them home from school. They do not make sure that they don't play with other children. They don't force them to keep distance from other children. And basically, they went back to normal life about a year ago. So basically, life has not stopped. The horrible phase of COVID is more or less over for most of us. Now listen to what Raphael says here in the background.
When the virus ends,
like
we'll
this.
still be wearing masks, but on the school picture.
Yeah, you can take it off for a school picture.
Why will you be still wearing masks when the virus ends? And Andrea, why you can take it off for a picture? And what? Put it back on? Why? So what is going on here with this scaring? What is the purpose of this? What's very worrisome here is that these children still believe that they are in intense danger. And here's the thing. There is no budging from this. So we see this woman taking a stand, and then what if COVID stays around for the next 3, 4, 5 decades? Which probably it will. Okay, it will help. It will have probably ups and downs, but it has mutated. And for the vast majority of people, it is not a threat. I mean, a deadly threat. Okay, so what are you going to do with these kids? Are you going to keep them home, isolated from society, running around with masks, learning how to be so fearful from being in any kind of proximity to other people for the rest of their lives? Or until when? When is there a point where a parent says, okay, I understand I have fears, I have anxieties, but I need to make a choice here that is for the best of my family and for my children. I am not the center of the universe. Their lives shouldn't be sacrificed for me. They are important as well. They have the right to live their lives. And flex the way, as a parent, flex the way you think and behave to make your children's lives better and not to restrict them to almost nothing because of my own fears. When does that point come, Andrea? Watch how Raphael passes by this couple. I think it says everything about the state he is in. I've never seen a child behave like that. It's so odd, it's so strange, and it's just, he is terrified of being near people. So he hastens his steps and is just, he does everything but run by those people, and also tries to get like a perimeter around them so he doesn't get too close. They are outside in the fresh air, okay? And he has a mask on. Can you imagine how afraid this boy is? Then, the kids stand stationary in front of that tree. They do not move. They do not walk around. They do not explore. They are watched in such a way, in my opinion, they are told not to move from that point. And I think, again, I just assume it's an assumption because children by nature would be more inquisitive. They would want to walk around, they would want to have a look at it. And indeed, Abigail tries. She doesn't even open the gate, she just goes and stands near this little gate and she looks at them. She doesn't dare, of course, to go in. And then Haber says to her, she's not doing that. You can't go in, that's why it's fenced. And then Andrea says, yes, they will kill you, or it will kill you, it will fall on you, or something like that. And you just say, what? No one will kill you. Nothing is going to fall on you. That is not the reason why you're not allowed in there. But again, this scaring. So let me summarize so far what we've seen, saying that there is an alternative reality that goes on in this house, in my opinion. Everything here is just my opinion, my perception. You know that, right? This is not an absolute truth. But let's just summarize by saying that these children have been, in my opinion, scared into oblivion from this virus that for most of us is not part of our life anymore. And there is no reason, really, to force them to walk outside with masks and to isolate them from other people. Again, my opinion. Unfortunately, Andrea has talked about her refusal to vaccinate the kids against anything, so they have never, ever been vaccinated against any kind of disease. But here's the thing. She refuses to vaccinate anyone in her family against COVID, and she refuses to take the vaccination herself, of course. However, she is very worried about getting COVID because she believes she has all these diseases and that could be deadly to her. And here's another example of this narcissistic way of thinking that I believe exists in this situation. It's about being this center of the world. She's afraid of getting COVID, so everyone in the family now has to not get vaccinated, of course, because that goes against what she wants, but also has to isolate with her, keep away from other children, keep distance from people, wear masks, even not in enclosed areas, so we see them actually wearing masks in the fresh air outside. So to me, that is, again, a very overbearing, over-engulfing of everyone around me to fit my needs, my anxiety, my fears, my worries, and basically to enforce a lifestyle on these young children that is complete isolation and fearing any kind of contact with other people because I'm afraid of getting COVID. So there's no the world revolves around me. That's more or less what I see when I look at Andrea and the way she thinks. Now, I'm not blaming her or judging her. I understand that there is an issue here, okay? But that's what happens. That is the outcome, and the ones who pay the price are the kids. Where is Hadar?
What's up?
Good.
Are you overwhelmed?
Yeah.
Of course he's overwhelmed, Hadar. Of course. What kind of question is that? I mean, think about it. If your life is spent within a closed compound, once you get out there and see people walking around and more noises and voices, you're going to be overwhelmed. And any intelligent child will tell you that it is very loud and scary when you're not used to it. So yes, he is overwhelmed. He shouldn't be. He's 10. He shouldn't be, but he is. And here's another thing that I want to talk about. And again, it goes to show, I mean, at least for me, that is what I perceive, the fear that is part of the children's life. And I'm not talking here about actively instilling fear into them, but I'm talking about actually Andrea. So we see this 10-year-old boy and 6-year-old girl, and we see them repeatedly being held by the wrists by their mother. So she actively grabs their wrists and holds them close to her at every given point that she can. Now, for a 10-year-old, at least the 10-year-olds I know would be so embarrassed having their mom holding their hand like that. Because it's not even holding hand, it's not like a warm gesture. It's a person who's dead afraid of the surroundings and is like overprotective, let's call it, towards the kids. Now, again, it shows me, at least, in my opinion, that we're talking about a highly, highly anxious, neurotic person who has loads of difficulties to maintain that anxiety and to keep the kids as a separate unit. These children, and we can see this in this video as well, they cannot be out of the sight of their parents for 1 second. So I'm not talking about on an outing, I'm talking about their lives. From the moment they wake up in the morning, every single day, 365 days a year. It's relentless. There is not one moment when they are allowed to have the freedom to explore who they are. No interactions with other people. No interaction with other children. No interactions with other adults. So everything that they do is under the watchful, controlling eye of a parent. Every single moment. Think about that. And I'm going to leave you with that thought for a second. Or maybe more. Thank you for watching.